Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another Quick Take wherever and whenever you are. Logiwa Quick Takes, a small investment in your time, a big payoff in knowledge, and an especially big payoff of this episode. Not to set the bar too high, but I don't think I could for our presenter. Coming up, I'm very thrilled to have with us for today's topic Lydia Kamansky, our product operations manager here at Logiwa. Lydia, hello, good morning, since it is morning for us currently here in the Pacific Northwest.
Good morning, Wayne and everyone.
Good morning. Well, today's topic, which Lydia will be taking us through here, winning the direct-to-consumer fulfillment race with analytics. And it all begins with data, folks. And so without any further ado, I'll turn it right over to our expert. Lydia, let's talk about data and analytics and reporting and all things related.
Excellent. Excited to do so. Thank you, Wayne. And again, welcome everyone. Now that peak season is behind us, it's a good time to look inwardly to see if there are things you can do to improve your fulfillment operations. Do you have opportunities to better serve your customers or improve your team's efficiencies? How do you know? Your WMS has vast amounts of data that you could use to get insights into your operations. In today's Quick Take, we're going to take a look at how you can use data to produce valuable and actionable insights to help drive your operations forward. We'll be focusing on some metrics to think about in 3 areas: how to use data to measure and improve your labor productivity, using dashboards to find opportunities to optimize your order fulfillment processes, and how you can win with KPIs. With that said, we have a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. To kick things off today, I want to take just a quick moment to discuss a few key things to keep in mind when building your reports. The first is defining your goal. What are the questions that you're trying to answer? Are there any challenges with your operations that you're trying to understand? Do you know if there are things you could be doing better? These questions are the first place to start because reports built without a specific purpose or action in mind often wind up sitting unused. If you're going to invest your valuable time in preparing a report, you want to have a goal in mind and know what questions you're looking for the data to answer for you. Next is having access to a rich and relevant data source. There are plenty of tools you can use for report building, but what good are they without the right data? You need an easily accessible, timely, and accurate data source so the reports you create can be used to inform your decisions. The final piece is having a robust reporting tool. A good analytics tool will make it simple for you to get the answers you're looking for. It will enable you to quickly build the reports and visuals you need to see the stories that are hidden in your data and that you need exposed to understand what's happening in your operations. A good tool will enable you to build reports to monitor your progress, not only as a snapshot in time, but to measure your performance over time, so you can quickly spot any emerging trends where your focus or efforts may be needed. So keeping these 3 things in mind, clear goals, good data, and the right tool, let's take a look at some key areas where data can help your operations thrive this year. Your WMS holds a huge amount of data that can provide really valuable insights into your operations. Looking at your order fulfillment numbers will help you identify where your warehouse is performing well and where there may be some opportunities for improvement. However, knowing what to measure is the first step, and one key area where data can be a real benefit is to help you understand the productivity of your workforce. Is your team accomplishing what you expect each day? How many receipts have been completed? How many putaways? Do you have pickers that are more or less effective than others? How many total tasks across all operations are your workers getting completed? Regularly reviewing your data will give you the answers, and then if something unexpected shows up in the numbers, you now have an opportunity to dig deeper. Could there be something about the zone or the client or the specific SKUs that is making certain tasks or processes more difficult? Is there an anomaly in your process that could be improved to help your team get their orders picked and packed more quickly or effectively? A good report or dashboard will tell you the story in an easy to understand and concise way. Let's take a look at an example. Keeping some of the measures we just discussed in mind, here is a sample dashboard showing some team performance measures using Logiwa's built-in analytics tool, since that's what I have access to. You can see that these visual representations make it easy to view the performance of your team, allowing you to quickly make comparisons and start asking the questions that can make an impact on your operations. What is making Picker 4 more effective than Picker 2? Maybe they're working in different zones, so this is okay and expected. Why is Pack Station 4 shipping less orders than the others? Again, maybe this is expected, but if it isn't, now you have this information and can begin looking into what needs to happen to make improvements. The dashboard tells you the story of what's happening. It's easy to see, easy to understand, and now you can begin to look into any needed actions. Let's take a look at some more ideas. Another thing to consider is looking at your labor trends over time by slicing the data into different views. For example, instead of just thinking about what got done today, look at an hour-by-hour view to see if there are any trends there that warrant further investigation. What about performance over the last 7 days or month to date? Are the numbers showing you what you would expect, or is something showing up that needs a deeper look? Let's take a look at another example. Here's another sample dashboard you could build that takes some of those different views of your labor productivity that we just discussed. For example, you can see that receiving team number 3 has received significantly less units than the rest of your teams this month. And team number 10 is far exceeding everyone else on put away this week. You may know exactly why this is the case, but what if you don't? With greater time intervals, trends and patterns become really apparent, and this can help inform you on any process areas that may need your attention. Next slide, Wayne. The next area to consider is how you can optimize your overall order fulfillment. You need action-based reports that can help drive your daily activities. An important thing to remember here is to avoid reports that are just interesting or that you build because you can. If there isn't an action for you to take based on a report, then it's likely not very valuable. A great strategy to think about here is to name your reports based on your intended need or action. And it's best to start with the simplest questions you need answered. So think about what you need to make sure happens today, tomorrow, or this week. For example, what orders need to get out today? What receipts do we need to make sure we get done? Are there any inventory discrepancies that need to get resolved? Having that data at your fingertips will help make sure that your teams are always working on the most important things for your business. So let's take a look at another dashboard, Wayne. All right. Here's our next sample dashboard showing us some ways to look at that data. Here we're looking at open orders, receipts expected this week, and the SKUs that your pickers weren't able to locate. Do you need to shift some folks around to make sure your priorities get met? Keep in mind that there's nearly an infinite number of ways to look at data, such as your open orders with a good analytics tool. I'm showing that here by type of order, but you could also view your orders here by client, by warehouse. A good flexible reporting tool will allow you to easily select that metric that you want to measure, how you want to view it, so that you can look at your numbers in the way that makes the most sense to your operations. Next slide, please. Another thing to think about when trying to optimize your daily operations is to measure what matters most to you or your clients so that you can make sure that you're meeting your SLAs and your operational goals. Hopefully, depending on the WMS you're using, you have access to all that data that you need to track your operations, including number of units received, lines, orders picked, packed, shipped today, or for a selected period, aging orders by client, by channel, or orders outside of your SLA. Again, think about viewing your performance through different time windows, by hour, by day, by week, by month, to look for any trends that you might want to dig into further. Let's take a look at another example. Here is another sample dashboard showing you actionable reports. For example, you can see your orders out of SLA today. Is your team on track to meet those SLAs, or are you falling behind? You can also see your aging orders in the middle. Do you have enough resources to push through all those orders this week? Again, we're really only just scratching the surface of what you could build with a strong analytics tool. Once you have that story of what's happening in your warehouse, then you can begin to explore what you need to do to optimize your operations. All right, next slide. Thank you. We've talked about many different measures already today. The last piece is determining your KPIs, or your key performance indicators. Do you know what a healthy metric is for your business? There are many different measures you could consider as KPIs, and measuring and monitoring those continuously will help you track and ensure your success over time. Your KPIs will be determined by whatever is most to your operations. But let's take a look at a few that we find are the most common. For example, order cycle time, seeing how long it's taking you to fulfill and ship your orders, picking efficiency, how many items are getting picked in an hour. Again, consider looking at trends over the last day, week, or month, and are your shipments going out consistently? Let's take a look at our last example dashboard. Here we can see that most orders are getting out in less than a day, but there's some that are taking a bit longer. Does that need to be looked into? We can also see some big fluctuations when looking at items picked by that hourly view. Is that expected? One thing to keep in mind is that this dashboard and these KPIs are just giving you a snapshot in time. You want to look at these numbers on a regular basis to really get the most from your data. Having that information at your fingertips is just the first step. It's what you do with that story and then what the numbers are telling you that will make all the difference in your operations. A good analytics tool will help you with clear, concise visuals that help inform you so that you can make better decisions. With that, let's recap the key takeaways from today's webinar. Number one, data lets you understand the efficiency of your team, helps highlight any trends that need your attention so that you can focus your energy on those improvements. Are you measuring your performance across inbound and outbound processes and looking at different time intervals to spot patterns? Number two, a good analytics tool will allow you to create action-based reports that then help you optimize your operations by surfacing those opportunities you have to better serve your clients. Are you consistently hitting all your SLAs? And number three, what's most important to the success of your business? Making sure you're monitoring and tracking those measures over time so that you can win the DTC fulfillment race. What are your warehouse KPIs telling you? And with that, I'd like to thank you for your time today, and I'll turn it back over to you, Wayne.
Thank you so much, Lydia, and thank you for your time and expertise on this topic. I've always believed that by tapping into and managing the flow of data through an operation, right, you can manage the flow of product, right, and manage your inventory and all things that have to happen to that. And when you do that, so you're managing flow of data, which manages flow of inventory and leads to managing ultimately the flow of cash into your operation and down to your bottom line, right? So
Absolutely.
Follow the data and to get to the cash would be one potential takeaway as well. So folks, thank you so much again, Lydia. Thank you for your time. We would love to get your feedback in your webinar panel. You have the ability to chat with us. We can leave the webinar open here for just a minute or two. Anyone who has any questions, would like to get any follow-up information from Logiwa, we have numerous resources that we can share. And we'd love to talk to you if you'd like to speak to us about any of your direct-to-consumer fulfillment needs. Just connect with us at logiwa.com, request-a-demo. Love to hear from you folks. Thank you again, Lydia. Have a great afternoon, everyone, or evening or morning, whenever you are. And see us back soon for another Logiwa Quick Take.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.